Hello everyone, my name is Mahadevan Iyer and I work as a data engineer at Adent Analytics. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Google's OAuth 2.0 procedure to access Google APIs. So Google API uses OAuth 2.0 protocol for authentication and authorization for different APIs. Google supports common OAuth 2 scenarios such as those for web server, client side, and installed and limited input device applications. So these are the steps that we are going to follow, and it's a pretty straightforward approach, but it can be a little complicated to grasp in the start. So let's get started. So before starting, I would like to explain what is OAuth procedure. So OAuth is an authorization framework that enables an application or a service to obtain a limited time access to a protected HTTP resource. So in order to use Google APIs, or for that matter any kind of API, the Google has placed some sort of steps or procedures that we need to go through in order to authorize each of our requests to the APIs, so that the APIs will return the data only to the authorized applications or the users that are who are requesting the data. So now let's get started. So this is the OAuth 2 playground developed by the Google, and in this we can use and get a hands on how the OAuth process works. So first we select the scope for the APIs that we would like to access, and these are the list of APIs that Google provides you. In this endpoints, you'll get your data that you are looking for, and in this tutorial, I'll go with Google Analytics API, Google Analytics v3. So these are the different scopes within Google Analytics API, and using any one of these, you can use any one of these or combination of these scopes to for your purposes. For example, in this read only scope will give you access, will give you only access to the data, and you won't be able to edit or do anything else with the API. You can only request data, and the API will give you the data. And using these other scopes, you can work your way with APIs as you need. So I'll just define my scope. uh, yeah, so once I define my scope, I'll click on. Also, you can authorize more than one scopes. You can work across APIs. I am currently working with Google Classroom API, but actually I don't have any account associated with Classroom API, so I will go for YouTube Analytics API. So let's go with a couple of scopes from YouTube Analytics. So using the by defining the scope, I'm saying that I want access to these APIs, and these are my scopes. So you can work your way with different APIs with and you'll get a access token which will be able to access both YouTube Analytics API data as well as the Google Analytics API. So that's the main purpose. So I'll click on authorize APIs. I'll choose my account. I'll give my user consent. So this is just the playground part. We are not actually placing any request over here. And yeah, so this is my authorization code, and just click over here. So this explains how the actual process will work when we implement it in using Python code or in production. So this is the overview of the OAuth process. So once we define the scope, we need to extend. We will get the authorization code, and after we select the scope, we need to give the user consent like I just did in the previous step, and I'll get the authorization code. So I'll exchange this authorization code for a refresh token and an access token. So you just have to click it, and I have got my refresh token and an access token. Yeah. Now in the next step, we'll send a request to the API endpoint, and we have our access token and refresh token. So using the access token, we'll send the we'll send the authorized request to the endpoint, and let's see if we can get any data. So the scopes that we defined in the earlier step, Google Analytics API, the YouTube Analytics API. So these are all the endpoints that we can send a request to and will get our desired result. So I'll send the request to this endpoint and let's see what the results. Since I don't have any YouTube account, I won't be getting any results. If you have any kind of data in your Google Analytics or YouTube Analytics platform, you'll definitely get some kind of data depending upon in which endpoint do you send your request. So in the background, what's happening is we are exchanging our access token with the API endpoint to fetch the data, to fetch our data from Google Analytics or YouTube Analytics or whatever the API endpoint you're sending your request to. So you send this limited time access token. So this access token will be valid for only for 1 hour, and after the 1 hour, you can use this refresh token to get another access token. So if I press this refresh token, I'll get another token which will be valid for another 1 hour. So this refresh token, it's usually valid for a long period of time. So the Google, they haven't mentioned exactly how long this refresh token will be valid, but they have given certain conditions on when this token can be invalidated, and you can check this out on their website. Usually this refresh token, if everything's right, then it will be valid for few months, or even in some cases I've seen that it's valid for a few years. And it's not it can vary, and Google can change it anytime they want. They haven't specified anything clearly about the duration of this refresh token, validity of this refresh token. So in the next part of this video, we'll get started with the actual steps on how we can perform the Google OAuth procedure using API calls to the endpoints, and we'll get the access token and refresh token, and we'll use those tokens to get the actual data from the Google API endpoints. Thank you for watching.